Everybody ready? I would like to call the meeting to order, and with that, we all stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Justin Rock.
Here.
David Blade.
Here.
Green Dudo is absent excused. Nicole Howard.
Here.
Molly King.
Here.
Marianne Meisner.
Here.
Denise Wheeler.
Here.
Perfect. Thank you. Consent agenda. Or actually, I'm sorry. Agenda approval. Is there any items need to be? Perfect. Thank you. Consent agenda. Consent agenda includes routine items of business with limit public interest, which may be approved by a motion of the council. Any council may be requested to remove any item of the business from the consent agenda. At this time, do we have a motion?
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Perfect. All right. So this next portion of the meeting is public comments. So any citizens that wish to speak on a non-agenda item, this is definitely the time. And with that, we do have a 3-minute time limit.
My name is Kimberly Rose. I have a spa downtown in Red Cross drugstore block. My problem is some of my clients take longer than 2 hours. So I reward them with a nice little $20 parking ticket when they leave my spot. And that's a problem. I think I addressed a long time ago about buying a permit that I could give to each client that was going to be there longer, because not everybody is, but a good lot of them are, that I could just give to each client so they wouldn't get $20 tickets. And a few of them are older and not in very good shape, that they really can't park down by the railroad and walk. They shouldn't even be walking in front of me into my salon. So I just don't know if there's anything we can do about that. Parking is a huge problem, as we know, all over La Grande. But I just was hoping that somebody, because I'm not the only salon. There's a few of us downtown, and I know it's a problem. I did talk to the parking lady that we used to have, and she said salons are the worst because, you know, they're in there longer, sometimes in 2 hours. So I was hoping that maybe somebody could give me some ideas, or if there's a way that, because when I asked earlier, they said it has to be assigned to one license plate number. So I was hoping that maybe there's something that we could do to not have that keep happening. Thank you.
Robert, wasn't there a time when they could buy a pass, they could give it to somebody and then they turned it back in?
No.
Wasn't, or did we talk about it that way at one time?
It was talked about 10 plus years ago as one of the options, but we never really landed on anything.
Oh, okay.
We had a meeting with the Parking Traffic Safety Committee. It was about 10, 12 years ago.
Okay, I just remember talking about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that La Grande Main Street Downtown, an organization of which you may be familiar,
Yeah. Okay.
is still charged with coming up with a
solutions.
unified recommendation to bring to the city council.
What you're telling me, okay, thank you.
It's your job.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
For those that are unaware, Marianne, I believe, is the current president of that
Yeah.
organization.
Okay, I will take that up with the board and see what we can recommend. Okay.
Because you have a lot of tourists, and they go to eat lunch, and then they go shopping, and then they get a $20. It's not very welcoming.
Right.
As I visit other cities, I think 2 hours is probably on the more generous side of what I've seen other cities do, yeah, for in terms of parking, but I'm curious, I don't know, I mean, I know in other cities I visited, you sometimes get validated parking from a restaurant or something like that, and I don't know how that process runs. I mean, is that something where the business owner has
That's for,
contracted with the city? I don't know how that
that's
works.
typically for paid parking through either a private.
Okay,
So you have paid parking, they validate your ticket, which gives you back 2 hours, or it pays for the first 2 hours, or it pays for all of it. That's the way that those work.
okay.
You know, if we would have to go to a parking meter model to do that, which I highly advise against.
We'll talk about it.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council at this time? Nope. Perfect. All right, we will move on to our public hearings, which is none. Unfinished business, there is none. And new business. Well, this one here, we're authorizing city managers to sign an agreement for Grande to participate in a 2024 recast city leadership cohort.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is a pretty straightforward request. Last January at our council retreat, we talked about the continuing effort to focus on small scale manufacturing as part of our strategy. We had indicated at that time that we were looking to participate in this program. And so that cohort for 2024 applications are now open. We have submitted our application and want to make sure that if we're chosen as one of this year's 5 community cohorts, that we have the ability to enter into that contract. While it's already been approved in the budget at the $15,000 that is in our budget, the contract at that amount exceeds our ability as staff to authorize, so it does require council approval due to that contract amount. So that's really the formality of the request tonight. I'm happy to answer any specific questions you might have. Being done, thank you.
Thank you, Timothy. Do we have anybody that would like to, of the public, to comment? There's no public comment. Let me see. Councilor discussion?
I think it's a great idea to do. So
Motion?
I move that we authorize the city manager to sign an agreement authorizing the city's enrollment in the 2024 recast city leadership cohort.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. All right, our next new business is a resolution authorizing city manager to apply for grants and related matters. Mr. Robert?
Thank you, Mayor and members of the council. You may recall that just last month, there was a conversation about why are we having to approve an application for a grant? We should solve this. Before you is a resolution that I think accomplishes the intent of the council. It allows great latitude to apply for grants, and then for a grant that we have budgeted, that we already know that we're going to be applying for, that's under a certain threshold, that can just be done, accepted and signed. You don't have to deal with those. And then in those situations where something is not budgeted above $10,000 of the city's contribution, those would all come to you for approval if we were to receive the grant. And we landed on the 10,000 because under our procurement rules, the threshold for department director and city manager to commit funds without going through formal quotes and those sorts of things starts at that 10,000 threshold. So that's where we kind of landed and stole some of this language from some other cities. So happy to answer any questions you have or any changes you'd like made to modify it per your intent.
So Robert, the way I read this is if it's, as long as it's budgeted, you can approve any amount on your own. And it's, if it's over 10,000 and not budgeted, that's when it would come to our approval. Is that
Right,
correct?
in terms of the financial commitment that the city
The
has. to make.
city is responsible for, yes.
Because we'll have fairly frequently, a $1 or $3 or $5,000 grant. Wild Horse immediately comes to mind. We apply for them in our grants and donation budget. We have a lot of these already identified. But certainly if we have one that involves consultants, the award of the contract to hire the consultant using those grant dollars, that's where that language about the procurement rules. So for personal services contracts above a certain dollar threshold, the city council has to approve that expenditure, which is what you just did with Timothy. It's just one of the nuances. So we could get a grant for $50,000 that has a $10,000 match. So we're going to go out and spend $60,000, but if we're hiring a consultant to do that work, even though it's $10,000, you would see it to approve that $60,000 contract, not to muddy the waters. But, and there's nothing that would preclude bringing one to the council to approve, even if I have the authority, because there may be some that I think in order to publicize them better. And then there's also occasionally a state grant that requires explicit approval. And we would just have to check to see if that matches that or if they would need one, because every once in a while we'll have a state level grant that in the grant agreement, it talks about approval of the governing body to accept it. So.
And perhaps a language nuance here, but when it says that it's budgeted, is that like a line item budget, or is that we've got a budget for grants?
It would be tied.
Open-ended.
It would be something that we knew we were applying for.
Okay.
To be plugged in.
Okay, sounds good.
Any other questions for Robert? At this time, we would like to invite public comment. Councilor discussion. Entertain a motion.
I move that we authorize the city manager to sign an agreement authorizing the city's enrollment. Nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry. I move that we propose a resolution authorizing the city manager to apply for grants and related matters be read by title only, put to a vote, and passed.
Second.
Any additional discussion? At this time, could the city recorder read the proposed resolution by title only?
A resolution of the City Council of the City of LeGrand, Union County, Oregon, delegating certain powers to the city manager for the application of grants and related matters.
Thank you. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There's none. Perfect. Thank you. Union County Commissioner update.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and councilors. I want to start off with the ODOT question that Councilor Glabe asked me last month. As you can see, I emailed you all a response from Representative Levy about the funding issue that we're going to, that we have. I talked to Director Wright and Commissioner Anderson about this. It's not really going to affect us locally too bad, but living between two very snowy passes, we may see some delays, closures, not getting plowed as much. So it is going to affect us very much so. We're really worried about the safety of our corridors. And did you all get a chance to read the letter? Okay. Was there any other questions on that?
Thanks for doing that.
Oh, you bet. And then I got a handout about Councilor Howard's question this month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So this is some fantastic information. It's the average daily travel of these roads. Councilor Howard asked why there was the meter on Osley Canyon. And so I talked to Director Wright today about that. Occasionally or yearly, we get complaints about road improvements, roads being poorly upgraded. And so this is usage. And as you can see that, some are getting used and some really aren't. To put it in perspective, Hunter and Mount Glen are around 1,400 to 1,800. So that's why they are chip sealed and ready to go. But after even seeing this one with Osley Canyon being at 525, that actually is opening the county's eyes to chip sealing it.
Amen.
I thought that would be good news. So we take this and we, instead of having the grader on there more and more, it may be even cheaper to chip seal. So this is fantastic data, in my opinion, that our county public works is doing to understand travel. And so when you see them out there, that's, we're just gathering data and science for which roads should we be chip sealing and which roads should we leave as, because I know that the good road, as you can see, it's 30. And it was, I believe it was paved at one point, but why keep a road that's being used 30 paved when it could probably just go down to back to a dirt road and just maintained. So I thought you guys would really enjoy this information, and I think I read it and that opens my eyes to which ones are being used a lot. And
No, this is great. And I think from a tourism perspective too, given the increased use in there.
yes, no, of course.
Be great.
And if you guys want to take over Morgan Lake Road, we'd love that too.
No, we're good.
No, thank you. But I'd like it.
I mean, it's going to your, other city property, so I think that you want it, right?
But I think you'd want to pave it for us.
I'm sorry?
I think you should pave it for us.
Wait, for you? Okay. Oh, okay. If you take, we'll pave it. You take it over.
No.
Deal?
Robert is over wishing.
Besides, I'm only one counselor anyway.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
Can I second?
But
No.
they use that special gravel on that road.
Yeah.
Makes it really nice.
Well, it does, but sometimes it gets a little choppy up there.
Is ADT average daily traffic?
Yes.
Okay.
Average daily. So, what you see it out there for a week. You see it out for a week or 2 weeks, and then this is just the average of the 2 week span. So yeah, it's
So is
It's an
this
average
there
and-
and back? Is that how they're calculating?
I believe so, yes. Because a lot of these are dead ends.
Because this is a line they're straight across the road. They're counting how many tire bumps they get.
And then they divide by 2, I believe.
So 4 bumps,
Kyle might
they're
know.
dividing that by 2. Okay.
I thought they
I-
divided by 2.
No.
I'll call Director Wright again.
No.
and find out. But I mean, I think it's a good representation of usage.
Sure. Well, let us know when you decide to chip seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we are, like I said, we're getting a lot of more equipment to be able to do it ourselves and not have to sub it out. So when that happens, and of course, oil prices are through the roof right now, and it's just getting more and more expensive. And I forget what he said, it was 100,000 per mile. I mean, it's a lot of money per mile.
Wow.
And so when some of these are 13 miles and it's just, it gets up there into 7 digits and stuff.
Wow.
But we want to bang for our buck with wet roads are being used more often. And if it's cheaper to chip seal it and not have our graders out there, then smart way to go about it. With that, I got some news on the fairgrounds. Not great news,
Oh, shoot.
but we went out to bid. Anderson Perry put it out to bid. We did get a bid back, but now the project to complete is not 1 million anymore. It's 1.62 million. It's funny. 5 years ago, I was looking for like 700,000, and now I'm looking for one. And this is even, the project went from 700,000, 800,000. Now it's at 3.2 almost in just 5 years. So it's one of those things that we're going to get this done. I have a meeting with Senator Hansel coming up. I've already connected with Representative Levy, talked to Regional Solutions, the governor's office, and this short session, we're gonna get this funding. So we're asking for 1.5, just to kind of keep it a nice even number. Still probably have to hopefully not have to find another 100,000, but that trying to find 100,000 compared to 1.6 or even a million. I'll take it every day and twice on Sunday. So not the greatest news, but we actually have concrete numbers right now with that bid coming in. And so now we could work from there and get this project finalized. And yeah, you have any questions for me at this point?
Does the bid have a time limit on it when the bid goes defunct?
It was different the way it was introduced because the fair only has so much money. It was like in two parts. I wish Anderson Perry was here to explain it, but there was the front end part, the money that we have, and then they also were able to bid on the second part, the money we don't have that would complete the project. So there are two bids for both of those, and I don't know the timeline on that second one for the completion of it, because I'm sure if it goes out 5 years, that you'd probably not want that same price number. I don't know if inflation will go up or down by then, but
Okay, thank you.
you bet. So any other for now? If not, I brought a special guest with me, Commissioner Todd Nash. He's from Wallowa County, very good friend of mine. He's running for Senator Hansel's position, District 29. He's championed the fair, and he's helped us a lot with even our wastewater project here in Union County. Him and I have been in the trenches in in Salem a lot. We converse almost daily. He's somebody that I will be backing for sure for District 29 seat and Senator Hansel's. And if you don't mind, I won't mind if you'd like to say a few words, and if that's okay with you, Mayor and councilors?
Yeah.
That's all right. Okay. I don't want to break protocol at all, but
Well, historically, the council has not entertained any candidates for office addressing the council, except during public comments.
oh, okay.
Which we are.
So we missed the public comment. Well, I'm sure Commissioner Nash will stick around till the end of the meeting, and if you'd like to meet him,
Perfect.
he will
Thank
be
you.
here.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's A-okay. But if there's no other questions,
Thank you for all your work on the fair.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not over yet.
I know it's not, but you're trucking.
Yeah, and don't name the bathrooms after me either if they have them. I'd appreciate it.
Okay, shoot.
How about a stall?
Stall.
So if there's anything else? Okay.
Thank you. Staff comments? City manager comments?
I'll refrain. I actually don't have anything. Thank you.
Perfect. I'll keep this simple. City councilor comments. Any councilor would like to make anything?
I would say that the Halloween event last night was very much of a success.
I agree.
Lots and lots of kids down there.
Yes.
Lots of people participating who were not part of downtown. They came in. And then, where's the trophy that you were supposed to bring and put out?
We brought it during work session.
Okay.
We were the winners of the chili cook-off.
They were. So we're just challenging, I would like to challenge them to next year's cook-off.
Hopefully, some of the other city staff will
Yeah.
be along with that one.
Yeah,
Fire, police.
Yeah.
Public works.
yep, all of them. Public, yeah, city park.
Stu, I'm looking at you too. I haven't seen the glasses. That's you too, Stu.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anybody that would like to challenge the council, we will be there.
Yeah.
And with that, is there any more? All right, with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.